Hey guys, welcome back to Anime Clinic. My name's Hasan and I'm an F2 doctor working and living in London. Today I'll have to warn you guys, there are spoilers ahead. In this episode, we'll be discussing Sasuke's eye injury in Boruto Chapter 53. I'll be covering some basic eye anatomy and see what we would do if Sasuke presented to the emergency department in real life. As always, let's start off with a bit of a background. So in Boruto Chapter 53, for a brief moment we are led to believe that the battle with Ishiki is over, thanks to Kawaki's unexpected use of jutsu. However, while Sasuke is distracted worrying about Naruto, he's unexpectedly stabbed in the left eye by a possessed Boruto wielding a kunai. This injury leads to Sasuke groveling on the floor with pain, as us viewers realize that Sasuke has just lost his Rinnegan. Now, penetrating eye injuries with a kunai is not very common in the UK, but let's see what we would do if Sasuke presented to the emergency department here. So first, we would make sure he's stable, take a bit of a history of the injury, see if he's got any symptoms and check his visual status. Then we'd proceed to examine the eye. Now we'll be looking for any foreign bodies that might still be in the eye. Now if there is a foreign body, you would leave it in there, you wouldn't take it out right now. And you'd also make sure you're not putting any pressure on the eye as well. Whilst we're here, let's talk a little bit about eye anatomy. Let's start with the iris, which is actually what makes the different colours found in the eye, and it's probably what is causing the red colour found in the Sharingan. It's also responsible for changing the size of the pupil. The pupil is the black dot found in the eye and is perhaps what makes the black parts found in the Sharingan and is responsible for capturing the parts you are seeing. Now, if the Sharingan has 4 of these parts, perhaps this is how it can capture more than the normal eye. The primary structures that bend the light coming into the eye are the lens and the cornea. They help direct the light to the retina at the back of the eye through a jelly-like fluid called vitreous body. The retina, which has receptors that processes light, transmits the information through the optic nerve to the brain. Finally, whilst the retina makes the inner layer, the outer layer of the eye is known as the sclera. This is actually the white part of the eye you normally see when you look at the mirror, and it's normally covered by a clear layer called conjunctiva. So what makes the Sharingan anatomy so different from the normal eye? Well, whilst a human pupil is able to increase its pupil size in a dark surrounding to gather more light and information, it decreases its size to protect the eye and to focus light to an area of the retina with the most receptors. The Sharingan, on the other hand, has the ability to not just increase the size of the pupil, but also perhaps increase the quantity, explaining the appearance of tomoe, the comma-shaped marking found in the Sharingan. Furthermore, when inspecting the Manga Sharingan, there is an obvious increase in the pupil to iris ratio. By doing so, it is able to gather more light. To process this information, the retina of the Sharingan must have an increased amount of photoreceptors. Another thing to point out is that in the Naruto universe, Tobirama Senju explains that when an Uchiha experiences strong emotions, the brain releases a special type of chakra that affects the optic nerve connected to the Sharingan, causing a permanent increase in visual prowess. Due to the fact that Kakashi was able to awaken the Manga Sharingan, it might mean that the optic nerve transferred from Obito still possessed the ability to interact with its user's chakra, and that this special type of chakra is not just limited to the Uchiha. This may also be the same chakra that caused the Byakugan to activate when Himawari was upset with Boruto. The human eye of our world, on the other hand, whilst it can dilate in response to stress and emotion, has no such ability to evolve completely. Now that we've learnt some anatomy, let's go back to seeing how we would manage the eye. So, you'd want to protect the eye from further damage using an eye shield. You'd give him some analgesia for the pain, give him some antibiotics just in case there's an infection brewing. You'd also want to give him a tetanus jab if he needs it, and also make him nail by mouth in preparation for a potential eye surgery. The exact procedure really depends on how deep the injury is, what type of injury it is, as well as what complications had occurred following the injury. This is also true when trying to predict a visual prognosis, with initial visual acuity, how well you could see when presenting, being the most predictive prognostic factor for recovery. I'm sure in the anime there are a wide range of possible procedures, including the use of Hashirama cells, though that would not make much sense in its ability to recreate a Sharingan, as ideally that would require regenerative cells belonging to an Uchiha. Although not possible in real life, There's also the possibility of a whole eye transplantation, similar to what we've seen in the past, with the Sharingan being stolen and even given out like candy. It'll be interesting to find out what the author has next for us in the upcoming manga. Thanks for watching guys, hope you learned something this video. To support me, please subscribe, like and share, it would help me loads. And if you got any suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Till next time guys, peace.